Navy Federal has a mission to put members first by making their financial goals the priority. Receive a lifetime membership of benefits to help you and your family accomplish your life's missions, like a full suite of financial products designed to fit your needs, 24/7 live support, and access to over 300 branches on or near military bases. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information or call 1-888-842-6328 or download the Navy Federal Credit Union app. Message and data rates apply.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast, coming to you from Draft.com Studios with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Hey! 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 Dad is gone! Hey!
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here, Mike.
That one got me. The Fantasy Footballers Podcast. I'm your host with the most for today. Not Beetlejuice. It's me, Mike the Fantasy Hitman Wright, joined by my best friend of all time, Jason Moore. How you doing, buddy?
It's me, Jason Moore. Very similar to Mario. I'm doing great. You want to know why I'm doing great?
Very similar.
Very similar to Mario.
Look, if there's anyone you've been compared to,
it has to be Mario.
it's Mario.
Because overweight a little, plumber, super hops. I mean,
Yeah,
dude
no,
can jump.
Your jumping ability.
I can jump over that flagpole, Mike. Okay, I can prove it. I can jump over their flagpole.
Did you ever make it over as a young lad?
Yes, not without cheating. It was Game Genie.
Game Genie.
Yes, yes. I don't think. Is it really possible?
I don't know.
Because I tried it 100,000 times without codes.
You usually get it right in the grundle.
And here's the crazy thing. Yes, you do. You're riding
And then
that
you bounce,
flag.
you bounce off.
You're taking that flag down for a real special ride to the bottom. But no, what's crazy is like the fact that you could put a code in and jump over. And
Says it's possible.
Says it's possible.
Yeah.
There's a world on the other side of the flag. I've done it, but I couldn't do it without a code.
This is not a video game podcast. This is a football podcast. The Fantasy Footballers, welcome in.
This is going to be a great show.
We got the mailbag. We got Pump the Brakes. We got the news. And you can watch it all.
What? The news? Incredible, Mike.
Yes, we have the news. If you want to watch this ridiculousness that is happening, youtube.com/the Fantasy Footballers. Make sure you subscribe. You click the bell. Follow us on Twitter at the FF Ballers. You can follow my personal at FF Hitman. Jason is at Jason FFL, and Andy is at Andy Holloway. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Andy will be bringing his incredible analysis to the show tomorrow.
Yes.
He will be here for the matchups.
The three of us will be together for all the matchup previews. This is the last day that Dad is away, so we get Cray.
Yeah. Cray. And make sure you check out Foot Clan giveaway. Hey, Jason.
What?
Along with the news, it's also Wednesday, which means O'Reilly.
Auto parts.
Ow! Yes.
Good work, Brooks.
Best work you've ever done, Brooks.
That was the best one of all time. All right, Jason, we're going to let you kick off the Pump the Brakes, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Who are you pumping the brakes on?
I'm pumping the brakes on someone that feels a little scary to pump the brakes on, right? Because last week you went into the week thinking it wasn't going to be a great week for this player, and they dominated. So now you go into this week thinking, well, it's not going to be a great week. Why wouldn't they dominate again? But my pump the brakes is still going to be on Kenny Golladay, the smoothest.
Oh, but they're so
routes
smooth.
himself. I know. Oh, Kenny.
You're going to pump the brakes on this?
How can you? I'm gonna slowly pump the brake, depress the pedal. Yeah, look.
You can't pump the brakes. I mean, that's
you
that's
gotta
gentle.
What would that be? You're the music man. What would the move be on pumping the brakes?
No, you're gonna pump the brakes.
What's the little kick drum?
The little kick drum?
Is that what it's
kick
called?
drum.
Okay,
The bass drum?
The bass drum. I'm gonna hit the bass drum with my foot. Pump the brakes.
That's an immediate though.
Okay, I'm
That's
slamming
a
the brakes.
staccato.
Here's what's going on with Kenny Golladay. Last week, he dominated 7 for 146.
Against
no
the
touchdown.
Bills.
Against the Bills, who have been pretty good against wide receivers, great against quarterbacks. They moved him into the slot.
Yes.
He was not shadowed this last week. We verified this yesterday, Mike. We looked at kind of the routes and the matchups and how they played against Kenny Golladay. Sometimes the Bills use their main corner, was Tre'Davious White, to shadow, and they chose not to. And it worked out okay. They were it was a good game for them overall, but Kenny Golladay had a good fantasy day. Xavier Rhodes for the Minnesota Vikings and the entirety of the Minnesota Vikings defense is much better than the Bills, and they shadow most games. So
Rhodes is a shadow corner, and he's a complete shutdown corner.
Exactly. When he was on Marvin Jones the last time that these two teams matched up, he did nothing. There's really no other guy other than Kenny Golladay to focus on. You've got Matthew Stafford injured with a back issue. I'm still and the reason I'm pumping the brakes is because of the big week against Buffalo. I'm not playing Kenny Golladay this week. It would take a lot. I mean, if you're telling me Kenny Golladay or Dante Pettis, sure, I would go Kenny Golladay.
All right.
But, if there's another good option, which this is championship week, you've got depth, you've got a great roster, you're in it. I'm not going to play Kenny Golladay in most situations.
All right. Jake Grizz wants to chime in here. That's right. The
Bear.
The Bear is pumping the brakes on Matt Breida and Jeff Wilson because they're playing Chicago.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think you can pump the brakes on them just fine. That's yeah.
I mean, this is just that's a homer call over there by the Bear.
What's next? Pumping the brakes on Dante Pettis? Ridiculous. Really?
I am going to take this as our annual opportunity. Look, we love all members of the Foot Clan.
Everyone listening.
We thank you so much for your support. But we know, and I'm talking to you, Bill, Frank, Sally,
Jim,
Jim and Jim. Look, I know there's some of you out there. You got that Week 17 championship week. You cannot do it. You cannot have your championship in Week 17. Too many terrible variables exist of your superstar players possibly not playing because.
Wait. Are you pumping the brakes on those people?
Yeah, and their leagues.
Get bodied.
And their leagues. Hey, I still love you, but this is the reminder. Write it down in your little notebook and say, we got to talk to this league commission. We got to get this fixed, this rectified, because a championship in Week 17 is not a championship at all.
Next week during Week 17, we're going to get some arguments out there. We're going to get some people saying, hey, look, I love football. I want more football. Week 17, that's the final week of the regular season.
Play some DFS. Go to draft.com/ballers.
Yeah. I mean, there's
things you can do.
It's just a super dumb argument. That's all we would say. I mean,
so there you have it.
Why not stop till the Super Bowl? Huh?
But if I'm going to pump the brakes on a player, it's Cam Newton.
That shoulder is.
It's the Panthers' passing offense. Besides, Christian McCaffrey's fine, but I'm very concerned about that man and his health and his wide receivers. That was Pump the Brakes with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Jason, we teased it hot and heavy.
Man, this is incredible.
It's time for the news.
What?
News and notes from around the league.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Rams signed running back C.J. Anderson.
Eat it, everybody.
Todd Gurley is considered day-to-day, like we said, with knee inflammation. So they brought in the stud.
The beast himself, last year's 1,000-yard rusher for the Denver Broncos, who has now been signed and cut by no fewer than 22 teams this season. Look, here's the real deal with the signing of C.J. Anderson. This shows a couple of issues with health. So you have the health of Todd Gurley, obviously, which they're playing against the Arizona Cardinals. You want a week to rest Todd Gurley, this could be that week. And It doesn't appear to be any kind of like MCL issue. So this is one where, look, just a little bit of rest could help. But it also is indicative that Justin Davis,
Yes.
who is the backup to Todd Gurley now that
Malcolm Brown is on the IR. Justin Davis is hurt. John Kelly, who was sensational in preseason.
sensational in college.
There's still rumblings that the team is not impressed. I think that's why they brought in the veteran, especially for pass protection situations. And I'm trying my best not to cause an alarm here because I don't have any inside information. This is just me reading the tea leaves. I really think that Todd Gurley sits this weekend, and you need to be prepared. We talked about all the running backs you could have picked up on waivers last night. Hopefully you got Jamal Williams. Hopefully you got Kalen Bellagio.
Damian Williams.
Was somebody, because you have to be ready. If you're sitting there,
Is it worth
if you're being the grasshopper, thinking that everything is perfectly fine and your opponent is the ant planning for winter, and you show up Sunday morning and they go, oh, Todd Gurley's not going to play, you're going to have a really, really bad weekend.
So here's the question. Todd Gurley, let's say, ruled out. Now, I don't believe he sits. I think there's a chance. You don't sign C.J. Anderson for no reason. I think Todd Gurley will still play. But let's say he does sit. So you've got three names now. It's not clear-cut. You've got John Kelly, the rookie, who they don't seem to like a lot. They don't believe he's ready yet, but he's healthy. C.J. Anderson, the vet, who's a good pass protector.
He's right off
good
the
pass
street.
catcher, right off the street, doesn't know the offense. And you've got Justin Davis. Let's say he is healthy. Todd Gurley's out. Justin Davis is in. Can a fantasy football player play one of those three guys? And if so, who?
As of right now, I can't even give a good answer.
Exactly. So the answer is no. The answer is, as of right now, you can't choose one of those to play until it comes out from the team or from beat reporters very close to the situation. If Gurley is rested, then you've got to monitor. I would pick them all up. I would rather have
like Pokemon?
you got to collect them all, man.
Rams running backs.
Maybe one of them will evolve, turn into something special.
Ooh, like level 3.
Yeah. Maybe become legendary.
Maybe we get a Bulbasaur.
It's possible.
Maybe.
So I would pick them up, but you can't start them unless you're looking for the absolute glory play, which I will be honest, Foot Clan. I have C.J. Anderson in this Dynasty League going up against Brooks, and I'm currently starting Dante Pettis against Jay Grizz's Bears. And the temptation, yeah, I know. Oh, you want me to play CJ? What? Jay, calm down.
Don't do it.
I want to play him so bad, especially because if you've been listening to this podcast, there was a week where I was like, CJ Anderson
There was a few weeks.
is a must-grab handcuff, a must. And
The Rams agreed?
I so firmly believed it that he was a championship winner should Christian McCaffrey get injured. And then it was like 2 weeks after that.
You were wrong.
Anderson got cut.
You were right and you were wrong because
He could win championships this week as a handcuff.
Oh, goodness. Who will not be winning championships? Aaron Jones, running back for the Packers. He has been placed on the IR. All of further IR news, Marcus Murphy for the Buffalo Bills has been placed on the IR. Kerryon Johnson will have to carry on next year.
And he will. He'll be awesome next year.
He's on the IR. And the Atlanta Falcons, Coach Dan Quinn has conceded Devonta Freeman will not return this week. That's the bad news. Let's get it. Well,
the great news, Jeremy Langford.
I was going to say the bad news continues. Jeremy Langford has been added off the practice squad for the Atlanta Falcons.
Irrelevant. It might not even be.
Tevin Coleman is going to touch the ball a lot this weekend.
Will it matter? I mean, he was good last week, but he's stunk the whole
You'll
year.
have to stay tuned for the matchup
Do you think that – yeah, we'll talk about it more, but do you think that maybe like Derrick Henry and Tevin Coleman were doing a little rope-a-dope the whole season? They're like, oh, we're not good. We don't know how to run. They're just saving up all their legs. And then all of a sudden at the end of the year, when, the
Coleman would not surprise me because he's playing for money.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry is, I don't know, maybe trying to get a feature role for the playoffs. But to the good news, Melvin Gordon practiced in full on Tuesday. If you made it to the championship week with Melvin Gordon on your bench, congratulations.
You're about to win the championship, because if you made it to the championship without him and now you get to add him,
yeah, that's big time.
congrats.
I guess there's a tiny little bit of bad news for the Chargers. Of course, Anthony Lynn said that Keenan Allen could be a game-time decision. At least it's Saturday.
This is great news to me for Keenan Allen. Like, I thought Keenan Allen was a foregone conclusion that there's no chance he was playing this week. It's a very important game for the Chargers in order to secure their position in the division. Right. And yeah, I mean the fact that he's a game time decision surprises me. I figured he would be ruled out early.
The whispers from the bushes are positive on Keenan Allen.
Yes, and like you said, it's a Saturday game, which is good and bad. Bad for his playing, one fewer day of rest,
right?
But good for fantasy if you're going to know before you have to put in a replacement. And there's no Thursday games this week, no game to preview for tomorrow. So that means this will be the first day of football this week.
Absolutely. Before we move into the mailbag, your mailbag, want to thank today's sponsor. Got a new sponsor. Check them out, Hopsy. It's like the Nespresso or Keurig for beer. It brings the tap to the home, to the comfort of your own home with the Sub, a countertop appliance that fits neatly in your kitchen, your bar, your living room, whether you're a hophead, malt mouth, a palate partier, whatever you are. There's stouts for everybody, IPAs, stouts, pilsners from big and small breweries, which rotate monthly. It's a delivery service. Man, they're hooking you up. And right now you can go to tryhopsy.com/footballers, use the promo code footballers, and for just $99, you'll get the Sub Home Draft Machine, 2 mini kegs, 2 Hopsy glasses, and membership into the monthly beer club. That's tryhopsy.com/footballers. The promo code is footballers. You're going to get that Sub Home Draft Machine, like I said, the 2 mini kegs, 2 Hopsy glasses, and the membership for just $99. Or the link will be in the show notes, so you can check that out. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, I do know Andy got it. He was liking that. And hey, Foot Clan, it's that time of year to go to these games, to root your teams on. The playoffs are coming. Big games. Get your tickets through SeatGeek. If you're trying to get them online from some other place, it's too complicated. It's too confusing. They're not always fully guaranteed, but on SeatGeek, it's easy. On SeatGeek, it is fully guaranteed. On SeatGeek, you can get a great price because they go out and they search all these different websites. They pull in so that you're getting the best price imaginable for your tickets. It's very, very easy, and it's not just for sports. You want to go to a comedy show. You want to go to a theater event. You're sitting there going, oh, no, Christmas is here. What do I get the wife? Look, the show can be a month away. You can get the ticket in 2 minutes on SeatGeek using that app. Best of all, our listeners get $10 off the SeatGeek off your first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app, enter the promo code BALLERS today. That's promo code BALLERS for $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, let's get into it.
Mailbag.
Championship week. Whoo, Dad's gone.
The pressure is on, Jason.
The pressure is nothing.
Oh,
for this guy. Let's do it.
You got like a spacesuit on.
Yeah. No.
Impervious.
Deep diving. I can go 1,000 meters underwater.
I like to imagine you though with like the old school diving suit.
Oh, for sure.
Looking like you're in BioShock.
I've got the tube that is connected. There's no
scuba tank.
No scuba tank. The tube is very long and it's going to the surface.
Did you know that scuba is an acronym?
I did not know that.
Brooks, did you know that?
No.
I believe it's self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. That is not a joke.
You just made that up. You liar.
The more you know.
You
didn't give the knowledge.
I was supposed to be the one giving the more you know there.
But you didn't know.
That's
so now
true.
you know.
Now the more knows. All right.
So we're in the mailbag. We're going to start it off with a Facebook question from Chris. He made it to the ship. Uh-oh. My opponent wants to split the pot. We're going. This is the first question.
That is.
We surprised. There was like a few of these, so it had to be addressed What you guys?
We're right into it. All right, my opponent wants to split the pot. What should I do? I'm projected to win by 20 points.
So I made this joke to Brooks yesterday. We're in the studio. We're facing off mano a mano. Now, there's no money in our Dynasty League. This is we take it as if it was,
pride only.
$10,000 on the line, but it's pride only. And so I made the joke to him. I'm like, hey, let's split the pot, Brooks. Let's bench our rosters, both be champs. They can't take it away, guarantee it. And that was a joke because I would never do that. That's ridiculous. You play to win. It's not like – so when you're playing poker, okay, and you're playing and you get to the final table, you're playing to win money. Like, that's the reason you're sitting down to play poker, is to win money. You can guarantee yourself the money. That's not why I play fantasy football. That's a benefit. That's an awesome thing. I want it. I want to win that money. But I'm playing to be the champ. I'm playing to be better than you. All of you. Everyone in this league, I'm going to go to fantasychamps.com and get a ring. I'm going to put it in their face. I'm going to say, kiss it.
Kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring.
But
wait, on your knees first, please.
Oh, get out of here.
Now kiss the ring. That's what I would say. So, no, I'm not splitting a pot.
But you just conflicted yourself because you're saying that the championship is everything, the money is secondary. So why not just split the money? You're still playing for the championship. You're not conceding number one or number two. You're just splitting the money.
Okay, so now we're
this is you're guaranteeing yourself money. Are you taking the coward's way out?
Look,
and making sure you get $200 or whatever.
He says he's projected to win by 20. So no, I mean, come on. You only agree to split the pot if you're the odds-on to lose. But no, I'm still.
Yeah, that's a smart move by your opponent.
Yes.
A nice hedge.
I'm still going. I'm going for it all.
All right, we're gonna get into a voicemail question.
Hey, ballers! Second season listening to your show. Second Foot Clan title game.
Yes.
Been swimming in Phillips Rivers all season long, but don't know if I should take a Dak dive in the deep end after stashing Prescott a couple weeks ago.
Bringing the heat.
Let me know what you think.
Oh, first of all, well done. I mean,
I just had a thought.
Okay.
If you're in a 2-quarterback league and you have Phillip Rivers and Russell Wilson and your team name is not Wilson Phillips, then you have failed
You
me
have made a
and failed yourself.
terrible mistake because
You brought shame to your family.
you could have lost a lot of weight.
You could have broke the chains.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wilson Phillips. That is great. I'm entering a 2-quarterback league just so I can – first pick in the draft, Russell Wilson. Second pick, second round, Phillip Rivers.
Break free from the chains.
Man.
All right, let's answer the
My
question.
sister was a big fan. So Phillip Rivers or Dak Prescott. Look, I'll give an example from the future champion, clearly the projected to win – dominating team of Brooks. Brooks has been swimming in the rivers as well with Phillip. He knows he's got a bad matchup, but he's not pivoting away. He's sticking with Phillip Rivers. That's his play.
Has Rivers put up anything close to a bad game?
I mean, it really depends on what you're saying is bad. Like a terrible game like what we've seen recently from Drew Brees or Jared Goff. No.
Against Cincinnati, it's disappointing.
Cincinnati was a disappointing game in our league format. He scored a little over 17 points, 220, and 1 touchdown. His only single touchdown game of the entire season. And my point being, Phillip Rivers isn't giving you Patrick Mahomes level of, holy crap, I just won the week because Phillip Rivers was my quarterback.
Right.
But even that down game against the Cincinnati Bengals, he has never ruined
over 200, no interceptions.
He has never ruined your week.
Dak has,
unlike Dak Prescott, who has ruined many weeks.
Yeah,
Dak has the matchup this week, though.
No, I mean I'm going Phillip Rivers here. It's more than just rankings as well. It's exactly what you're saying. Your team is made up of. Look, you just got to the championship on the back of the consistency of Phillip Rivers. He's going to do enough for your roster to take over and win the same way you got to the championship. Yeah, I'm sticking with Phillip Rivers.
Man, that's so tough. The Ravens, the past 6 weeks, are 5th against the quarterback. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are – oh, wow. Are the sheet accurate? Or do I need some spectacles over here? The past 6 weeks, the Bucs are 9th against fantasy quarterbacks because they're giving it all up to the running back. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Next question off of Instagram from Brad. Start the New England defense versus Buffalo or Denver against Oakland, the future home of sensational quarterback Nathan Peterman. If anything of the rumor mill is to be believed, John Gruden, I can't love that man any more than I do.
Here's what's crazy about John Gruden.
He's so bad.
Here's what's crazy. We rag on him as a coach. I actually legitimately really like John Gruden.
Yes, me too.
I would love to hang out with John Gruden. I loved him as a commentator, how everybody's the greatest player you've ever seen.
Monday Night Football watchers also love John Gruden and are so sad that he's gone.
Yes, if you didn't like Gruden when he was a Monday Night Football analyst, you are saying, please come back.
You're the reason we got blade hands up there.
Yeah. No, so the question is Denver's defense. Now, Denver's on the road. Oakland is terrible. Buffalo's offense, I would say, is near as bad as Oakland's offense. Oakland has actually put up some points lately. I'm usually going to side with the home team, and the fact that this is a divisional game, must win from New England, coming off for the first time in a long time, back-to-back losses, I'm rolling with the Patriots defense. I'm trusting Bill Belichick.
Patriots for me. Josh Allen will do his thing. He's going to be a fine fantasy play this weekend, but he's going to turn the ball over. That's going to happen.
He loves doing that.
It's his favorite. Off of Twitter from Rachel, can you trust Sony this week?
Oh, man. So, look, Sony.
You've met my fitness consigliere, Michel.
Yes, Sony Michel. Going into last week, he was one of those, look, you have to plug him in your lineup because he's been getting, again, going into last week, 21 carries, 17 carries, 20 carries. He's getting red zone work. Some of that was with Rex Burkhead back. His volume was good, but then all of a sudden this last week, he continued running poorly, and he didn't continue getting the volume. He only got 13 carries. Buffalo's defense is not too scary to me for running backs. So Buffalo's defense, they're great against quarterbacks right now, great against wide receivers and tight end, but the running back is kind of their weak spot if they've got a weak spot.
You look, in Quincy Ocha, Rex Burkhead has absolutely stolen the soul of fantasy value for Sony Michel and James. This, I
still think
you can play him, but
yes.
I'm not trusting him at all. All.
What about so you've got Tevin Coleman. He's got the show to himself.
Interesting.
In Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Or you've got Sony Michel as large favorites at home, which, home favorites, that's great for a running back. Which one would you play out of those two?
Oh, man. Right now, Sony is ahead in my rankings, but I would play Tevin Coleman. I'm going to have to make an adjustment.
That's identical to me. I was looking at my rankings saying I don't agree with how high Sony is. I think he belongs down near where Tevin Coleman is. I mean, look, I was not the hugest Sony. I mean, we disagreed on Sony Michel coming out of the draft. You were a big fan. I didn't like him. I liked him once he was drafted, in the first round by New England Patriots. It was a great situation. But I'm disappointed with the amount of carries he's had on the season for his touchdown volume on the Patriots, right? The Patriots usually have a great touchdown, rushing touchdown total as a team. And so far, what does he have? 5 touchdowns on the season. We're coming up to the last 2 weeks of the season, and he's been getting 20-plus carries, plenty. So, yeah, I think I go Tevin Coleman in that situation. It's a matter of who you have on your roster. I think we at least laid out Sony's situation for you. Hopefully that helps.
We've gotten a lot of questions about James Conner and Jalen Samuel. So this one's from Facebook from Daniel. If Conner is active, would you still play Samuels as your tight end?
No, I wouldn't.
So Jalen Samuels at the tight end position or David Njoku?
David Njoku. Do you believe that Jalen Samuels has played his way into sharing the load?
No. I don't think he will share the load. The question is, do you think Jalen Samuels can get 3 to 4 receptions with a scoring opportunity?
Well, he can. So, like, if you look back week 10, Carolina.
Then that would be at least equal, if not better, than to David Njoku.
He had 3 receptions for 22 yards and a touchdown. So you were okay. But that's like his peak before James Conner went down. I mean, usually, here's his line. His line is 0 carries, 3 carries. He just had no involvement when James Conner was there. And we joke on air and off air, we know what Mike Tomlin's doing. When Mike Tomlin came out and said, we're going to have a committee, we're going to share with Jalen Samuels. Yeah, we were joking around like, oh, sure you will. No, he's not. There's so much history. It was kind of like, with Norv Turner. When you have a coach with as much history of him doing the exact same thing over and over and over, you can predict it. You can say with pretty fair certainty they're not going to have an RBBC. When Connor gets back, it's going to be the Connor show. So I'm not starting Jalen Samuels. I would still rather start Njoku.
This one's off of Instagram from Rogers. Jeff. Rogers_Jeff. If Spencer Ware is active, would you start Ware or your favorite running back of all time, Damian Williams?
If Spencer Ware is active, Damian Williams does not belong in a game. That's my opinion. Now, could he do what happened a couple weeks ago?
He'll still be in a timeshare.
Yeah,
it won't be all Ware, but I would start Ware over Damian Williams.
Correct. That being said, I don't think Ware starts. I don't think Ware is in the game. So Damian Williams, to me, is still very attractive. If Ware comes back,
he's got great eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, you wake up and you say, "Oh, this was Damian Williams. I made a tragic mistake." But great eyebrows.
What is happening? This one's off of Twitter from Burpee Stevens. Is it a good idea?
Burpee?
Yeah, Burpee Stevens. You got a problem with that?
I can't burp myself, but
Burpee Stevens.
All right, Stevens.
Maybe he does the exercise move, the burpee, a lot.
Oh, yes, that's what it is.
Have you ever done a burpee? Have you ever done 10?
I don't know if I've done 10. I quit after 1.
Yeah, good for you because they're the worst.
Yeah, exercise.
Yeah! Get out of my face, exercise.
Stay obtuse. There's a wide angle.
Is it a good idea to load up the bench with quarterbacks for championship week if the tiebreaker is bench points?
I've actually thought about this.
I was going to say it on yesterday's show.
Yeah. If your tiebreaker is bench points, then yeah. I mean, then, once your lineup is pretty much...
I hold off until Sunday morning.
Yes.
Because I don't want some freaky deaky thing to happen where I got to scramble for a backup running back.
Yeah. Let's say you've got open waivers. You do it right before game time. Go and throw Sam Darnold on your bench or whoever's out there. If they're a quarterback, they're going to score more points. Load up if it's championship week. If you don't have keeper considerations, then whatever. You're not hurting yourself. You're only helping. If your waivers run once a day, do it Sunday morning so that those players you're dropping can't be kept. But I would just say if it's the Sunday morning waiver, leave yourself an out for some kind of warm-up injury.
Yes.
Leave one player that you can flex in should somebody get injured. Otherwise, you're going to be like, oh, I lost the championship, but look at all my bench points.
This one's off of IG from J-Mag. Can I trust Rob Gronkowski in the finals, or should I roll with Evan Engram?
Oh, don't ask that. I really don't want this question asked on the show because when I was
too late. The cat's out of the bag.
Oh,
this seems personal.
This is look. I'm making my rankings, and I toiled with the Rob Gronkowski Evan Engram ranking, and I landed on Evan Engram one spot ahead of Gronk. That's how I have my rankings, and I literally thought, I believe it, and I really hope people don't look. I really hope people don't ask me because I don't want to follow up and say it, but the truth is I believe it. Like, if it was my team, I'm willing to do that to myself. Like, that's the difference, and you give this advice is like, I can handle that. I'm making the decision. So, yes.
I'm a man.
I could do it. Look, I believe that you can start Evan Ingram over Gronk. I would do it. But you have to make that decision, because losing with Gronk on your bench when you're getting too cute, you're going to be mad at me. And I'm saying, if you put it that, all right, here's my answer. If you're the type of person that's going to be mad at me when I say play Evan Ingram, then play Gronk. That's my answer. Otherwise, I would go Evan Ingram.
Let me ask you this. Does that have any impact if Odell Beckham actually plays?
100% is only if Odell Beckham is out. Thank you for clarifying that. I don't expect Odell Beckham to play. That's how my rankings are set up right now. If Odell Beckham is in the game, it's Gronk City.
Speaking of Odell Beckham.
Hey, footballers. This is Dylan from Ohio. Got a little bit of a dilemma, kind of hypothetical as well, but I have Odell Beckham. I'm in the last week of my 2-week playoffs, up by 15. If, let's say, Odell's healthy, do you guys trust him enough, or should I flex him somebody like Chris Carson instead? All right, guys, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Oh.
Well, so what was crazy is I was like, of course I trust him enough. Like, and I do. If Odell Beckham is healthy, you're putting Odell Beckham out there. He's going to be great. But then he said Chris Carson,
who's taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
And Chris Carson is great. I mean, Chris Carson's been a beast.
He's a very good play this week.
He's at home against the Chiefs. I mean, I think I go Chris Carson there.
Chris Carson is my running back 8 right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, last week he was my start of the week. The last 2 weeks, both weeks, 22 carries, both weeks a touchdown, 90 yards, 120 yards. So you're averaging 105 yards and a touchdown and 20-plus carries.
Man.
You're at home against the team that's bad against the run. This is not an anti-Odell Beckham take. I would say this. If Odell Beckham had been healthy, had never had a quad injury at all, and you're just going into the game, both are fully healthy, I would go Odell Beckham. But there is still the chance when a guy misses 2 games in a row, you come back, re-aggravate injury. We see it all the time.
Right.
So if you've got a great option like that, then I would probably go with Chris Carson and take that injury risk off my team. But in general, I love Odell Beckham if he plays.
Off of IG from Ya Boylo, Amari Cooper or Derek 2-game turn-up Henry in my flex in a PPR.
PPR, you say?
PPR. That's a pirate.
That's a pirate. That's
favorite scoring format.
PPR.
Dang it!
I feel like they would be just as happy with half-point PPR.
No, Pirates all in though.
That's true.
They never half anything.
No, they want all the booty.
You ever tried to half a piece of 8?
No, it doesn't work.
I love Michael Keaton.
There was a question here. It was Amari Cooper.
Yeah, it's from Ya Boylo.
Ya boy. Lo. Look, Derrick Henry's a must start.
Yes, I agree. Even in a PPR.
Derrick Henry, 17 carries, then 33 carries. I've been calling him the Tennessee Derrick Henry.
Continue.
He's getting 50 carries. Yeah, I mean,
where do you have Amari Cooper right now? Let's give some context.
So right now I have Amari Cooper in a great matchup at home, and this is basically
against the Buccaneers.
This is basically in a standard format as wide receiver 7.
I have him at 10.
And I've got Derrick Henry as the running back 8. So this is a good conversation.
Yes.
You could go either way, but I guess the way that I see it is you look floor and you look upside, right? The upside of both is equal. Would you agree
Amari
with
Cooper, yeah.
I mean, literally
Cooper's
both of them.
upside's the penthouse. I mean, you cannot get higher than Amari Cooper's upside.
Derrick Henry is knocking on that door, considering that he just against, look, a couple weeks ago, he had 238 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Fair, but I would not ever consider the ceiling for someone to be numbers that egregious. I know it happened.
Sure.
But you're not like, yeah, this week I got Henry statted out for about 225
and 4. No, all right, I'll cede you that. Whose floor is lower? On the season, Derrick Henry had a terrible floor, 4 points, 7 points, 6 points. But
the question to me simply is, you got to throw all that crap out. Is this the future for Derrick Henry? Him getting 20 carries a game?
There is no chance that Derrick Henry, barring injury, does not get 20 carries in this game against Washington with their poor offense that's not going to be able to force them to throw the ball. No, I think Derrick Henry's a workhorse. So I'm going to lean Derrick Henry here.
All right, this one's off of Twitter from Sir Ridiculous.
Oh, I love it.
I have to start too, Jason.
Okay, he's in.
He didn't.
And who else? Because, I mean, Jason's locked and loaded.
But it's Jason Campbell.
Oh, he's out.
All right, start two. Corey Davis, Josh Reynolds, Courtland Sutton. I am the underdog.
You think? Sorry. That was a little rude, but you just said you had to start two of these terrible options. This is the championship. Yeah.
It's a deep league, Jason.
It sure is. No,
he's in the title game.
He's in. Hey, I support you. We all root for the underdog, which means I'm rooting for you, buddy. Sorry. It was low-hanging fruit.
Now I'll help you out after I'm done trashing
now that I'm
you.
done torching you. Here's the thing. We love our audience. We like staying positive here. We don't ever want to make fun of questions and stuff like that. So there's part of me that apologizes, but there's the other part of me knows how much you enjoyed that. You enjoyed laughing at that. So we're even. What was
totally?
So it's Josh Reynolds, Courtland Sutton, and who?
Corey Davis. Corey Davis.
Does he give his scoring format?
No.
All right, so we've got Josh Reynolds playing in Arizona, where I still like Jared Goff. I really do this week. I know that'll surprise people, Mike. We're kind of in disagreement on this, but I really like him. Arizona's got nothing to play for. Their head coach is pretty much a lame duck. The expectation is he'll be gone. You have Sutton, who has just been a huge disappointment. I've got them back-to-back in my rankings. He's playing against Oakland. And then Corey Davis, who's been great in the games that Marcus Mariota has started, minus the last 2 weeks where Derrick Henry has taken all the passing away, he's been good. But I expect it to be the Derrick Henry show again. So
what's tough is Corey Davis, his quarterback, 3 of the past 5 games has thrown 162 yards or fewer.
And they're winning. And they're winning because of Derrick Henry.
I mean, Davis is higher in my rankings, but that's a really difficult question. I don't mind Josh Reynolds against Arizona.
Reynolds is in to me. He's the one.
Yeah, Courtland Sutton is the harder one. He should be in. Great matchup.
Great talent.
He's the guy.
But we talked about what's happening.
Should be the guy. He's not from targets.
He's certainly not been the guy. I mean, he got 5 receptions, but they're not the valuable receptions that you should be getting with Courtland Sutton down the field because Case Keenum's unwilling to throw the ball down the field. So between Corey Davis and Courtland Sutton, I guess I go Corey Davis. I mean, Josh Reynolds, I think, has he could just get one catch for 40 yards and a touchdown, and you'd be happy.
Yeah, I lean Corey Davis and Josh Reynolds as well. But like you said, you're the underdog for a reason, and I'm feeling that. This one's off of IG from Brandon. What to do with Jordan Howard in a dynasty league? This one's right at home. Pull up a chair next to the hearth and listen to Jason Moore as he talks about Jordan Howard on his team.
Sit next to the fireplace with me. It's freezing.
Warm your bunions.
Oh, no. It's out. It's just coals. It's freezing near the Jordan Howard dynasty fireplace. Well, you all are welcome. It sucks.
What is that voice?
I don't have a clue. But, I am in the dynasty league. I'm starting Jordan Howard. I'm in the championship with Jordan Howard, but my depth behind him is not much. And look, if I'm the Chicago Bears and Jay Grizz, maybe you can weigh in on this. I would – wow, you read my mind. Next year, I'd draft a running back. They need a different
as the Bears?
As the Bears. I believe they need a different style of running back. And you can argue, what are you talking about? They're winning games. They've got, the thunder and lightning. Jordan Howard's getting 20 carries, wearing down defenses, and they're winning games. So hopefully they don't for Jordan Howard owners. But what you do with him is you hold him. That's what I believe. I believe you just hold Jordan Howard, get the value you can get out of it, wait and see what happens in the draft. If I was able to trade Jordan Howard for good value, someone is very running back needy, and I can get a solid wide receiver. If for some reason I could trade Jordan Howard for Kenny Golladay, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
There's no way. I got a weird hypothetical because I was just thinking about my own team and my running back depth. This is not an official offer.
Oh, okay, but all right. Okay. Hypothetical. Also, your running back depth is the worst I've ever seen. Go on.
Yeah. Would you trade in a dynasty league? I hate to bring his name up, but there's going to be a lot of questions. Would you trade Jordan Howard for Kareem Hunt?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
A guy who may never play in the league again, but a guy who is also a top 5 talent at the position if he can come back to the league versus a player who may not even be on his team next year.
Taking out any of the
any of the
off the field stuff, taking that out, because we've always been supporters of this. If you're morally against a player in fantasy, Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt for their past,
don't play with
don't play him. Don't draft him. Totally support that. So I'm going to take this out and just make this fantasy advice. I would not do that trade.
Okay.
And here's why. I believe in the now. I believe in winning championships now. I believe that a first-round draft pick in this year's draft class is more valuable than a first-round pick in next year's draft class, even if next year's draft class is supposed to be better. The reason is because one is a year earlier. One, you get a whole extra year of playing. When Kareem Hunt comes back, if he comes back,
big if,
he's going to lose probably close to a year. So now I'm trading a guy that might come back 2 years from now. So no, in that situation, philosophically, just fantasy football related, I would go Jordan Howard. And Kareem Hunt is not coming back to a starting workhorse face of the franchise role. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whoever's going to take a shot on him, he might work his way there over time, but he's not just signing some great, we're giving you the ball a ton, you're our lead dog role.
Off of IG from M. Dalmacchio. Doug Baldwin or Gus Bus Edwards.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's easy.
Is it?
It is for me, and we'll talk about this tomorrow.
But I asked the question right now.
I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow. I'm going to answer the question now.
All right.
It's Doug Baldwin.
Okay.
Look, this is the same game. No. This is
Doug Baldwin's playing the Chiefs.
Right.
Gus Edwards is playing the Chargers.
Gus Edwards is a solid play. I like Gus Edwards. He's getting the ball enough. The team runs the ball fantastically. He's a solid play. But I think Doug Baldwin against Kansas City at home has much higher odds of a touchdown. He appeared healthy this last week. Obviously had a monster game, 2 touchdowns this past week. Look, I'll give a little preview. Doug Baldwin is my start of the week at the wide receiver position.
Wow.
I'm going back to my fantasy MVP.
Wow.
Who has crapped on me
this year. He has.
Big time. But I believe this is the week where, look, Doug Baldwin's a great player. Nobody can argue that he's not a great wide receiver, has a great connection with Russell Wilson. He's been injured this year. They've been running the ball. Like it or not, you're probably, I would say, odds on very heavily that you're not going to just be able to run the ball all game against Kansas City. Because if Kansas City is scoring, which they've done on everyone, you're going to have to keep up. So I like Doug Baldwin this week.
I brought this question up as also so we can have a little bit of a further discussion on Gus Edwards. If you haven't been paying attention, if all you're looking at is the box score, it's still been very good for Gus Edwards. I mean, this past week, 19, over 100 on the ground, and a score.
Yeah, the Kenneth Dixon.
Except Kenneth Dixon out-snapped Gus Edwards. The snaps have been trending down
Who cares?
for Gus Edwards, so
I don't care.
that was the question.
No, I don't care at all. You out-snap him 3-1 if I still get 19 carries. I mean, the difference is, like, there's certain players that are on the field when they don't get the ball, and there's certain players that when they're on the field, they get the ball, right? Like Taysom Hill comes in for very few snaps, but when he lines up in the backfield, I saw this on the broadcast, it's a rushing play to Taysom Hill 90% of the time. On the season, 90% of the time when Taysom Hill comes in, he's getting the ball, and he runs with it. Like, go figure.
He is throwing a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Book it.
Yeah,
Book it.
Seriously.
They've set this up the long con.
100%. You are correct.
If the Saints are in the Super Bowl, Taysom Hill will throw a
Take that
touchdown.
prop bet.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be out there. But, yeah, look, Gus Edwards comes in to run the ball. Kenneth Dixon comes in when it's passing down, which means they might throw it to him. He's not going to touch the ball that much. So, yeah, I'm not worried at all about Gus Edwards. Like him a lot.
Foot Clan, before we close out today's show, want to thank today's sponsor, Navy Federal. They got the mission, put the members first by making their financial goals the priority, and you can visit NavyFederal.org for more information. Call 1-888-842-6328, or just download the Navy Federal Credit Union app. Message and data rates may apply. The matchups are tomorrow, Jason Moore. Are you prepared?
I still need to do 100 push-ups.
And 10 burpees.
Oh, no. I really thought you were going to go there with me. The 100 push-ups. 100
I'm not tracking in the slightest.
No? One punch man?
Oh! One punch!
Yes.
Fair enough. There
All
you
right.
have it, Foot Clan. Hey, we're doing an extra show if you're a supporter on jointhefoot.com. That'll be up this afternoon. And, of course, if you're going to play that daily, draft.com/ballers. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.
Keel!